Welcome everyone to this deep dive.
Hmm.
I'm really excited because we're at a highly anticipated culmination today.
Yeah, we really are. It's the grand finale of this specific journey.
Exactly. We are synthesizing the really profound teachings of the magical approach, dreams, evolution, and value fulfillment, and Seth, dreams and projections of consciousness. And the mission today is to bring this whole journey to a profound integrative conclusion for you, the listener.
Right, to really tie it all together.
Because, I have to be honest here, stepping into the shoes of someone who has been practicing all of this, we've traversed the dream world, we've awakened inner senses, we've, become lucid, projected our consciousness, we've perceived framework too.
It's a lot of tools.
It is. I've collected all these amazing tools,
Yeah.
but I can still feel them as separate practices. It's like I have all this high-tech gear, but I'm still feeling fragmented.
Yeah, that fragmentation is so common.
Right. So my question is, how do I weave them into a single, seamless way of being?
Hmm.
Like, how do I live as one unified consciousness where dreaming, waking, and projection are not different activities, but I guess different notes in the exact same song?
I love how you phrase that. And, responding to that feeling of fragmentation, I want to say this with just deep love and peace for anyone listening who feels that exact same way. Seth has a quote that just cuts right to the heart of this. He says, "You are not a waking self who sometimes dreams. You are a unified consciousness that focuses itself in different dimensions."
Wow. You are not a waking self who sometimes dreams?
Right. You are a unified consciousness.
That completely flips the script.
It inverts the whole hierarchy, yeah.
Hmm.
Because final integration, the real goal here, requires recognizing that consciousness is one continuous, unbroken field.
Like a spectrum.
Exactly. The you who dreams, the you who wakes up and makes coffee, and the you who projects out of body, they're the exact same being. You're just merely shifting your focus of energy.
Okay, so then what was the point of all the separate exercises we spent so much time on?
Well, all those prior practices we explored, they were never meant to be ends in themselves. They weren't, spiritual merit badges. They were training wheels.
Training wheels.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They were designed to help you feel this underlying unity directly. But once you feel it, living as a unified consciousness actually means carrying your dream awareness, that lucid, fluid, creative quality directly into your waking life.
Oh, interesting.
And carrying your waking intention, your deliberate creation, your logic into the dream state. It means trusting that your inner self is orchestrating all these focuses simultaneously through framework 2.
The mental studio where it all gets arranged.
Precisely. You're trusting that process completely.
Okay, let's unpack this. Because it's beautiful in theory, right?
Sure.
But what about the deeply mundane moments? I'm talking about the grit of Tuesday morning.
Yeah.
Sitting in traffic, paying your taxes, doing chores. It feels like we've been treating our consciousness like a smartphone with different isolated apps.
Ah, the app analogy.
Yeah, like we have a waking app, a dreaming app, a projection app. But you're saying we need to stop looking at the apps and realize we are the operating system running all of them simultaneously.
That's exactly it.
So how does the operating system handle doing the dishes?
Well, the operating system handles the dishes by recognizing that those mundane moments are also valid focuses of the unified consciousness.
Wait, doing dishes is a valid spiritual focus.
Absolutely. The practical expression of this is living a life of greater flow, creativity, and trust what Seth calls the magical approach. You have to stop trying to get somewhere spiritually and start experiencing the current journey as the expression of your larger self.
So no more waiting for the mountaintop meditation to feel spiritual.
Right. To put it profoundly, those mundane moments are also a dream you are dreaming.
A waking dream.
Yes. The practice is to meet them with the exact same creative awareness you bring to a lucid dream. You have to ask yourself, how do you wish to dream this moment?
Wow. How do I wish to dream this traffic jam? That's a total paradigm shift.
It changes the texture of everything, doesn't it?
It really does. But, if we are dreaming this physical reality, what happens when the dream becomes incredibly difficult or even physically painful?
That is the ultimate test of this philosophy.
Let's look at the woman who actually brought us this material, Jane Roberts, because her life is the perfect example here.
It's the most poignant example we have. If we look at Jane's final years, especially drawing directly from the notes left by her husband, Robert, we see something incredible. She spent her final years in a hospital in Elmira, New York.
And it wasn't a short stay, right?
No, it was 504 consecutive days.
504 days. I can't even wrap my head around that.
And she was dealing with severe rheumatoid arthritis. Her body weight dropped to 82
Oh
pounds.
my God, 82 pounds.
Yeah, she had profound hearing loss, thyroid failure. It was agonizing. But how she handled it, she embodied the ultimate integration during this period.
Because surface level critics might say, well, she created her own reality, so her illness was a failure.
Exactly, but she didn't see it that way at all. She did not see her physical challenges as spiritual failures or punishments. She saw them as part of the larger dream and her own value fulfillment.
Value fulfillment, the soul's drive to explore and expand, even through limitation.
Precisely.
Yeah.
And there's this really specific psychological detail that Seth points out. For years, Jane had this immense pressure on herself, this superhuman, sinful self-image.
The sinful self, that's what they called it, right?
Yes, it wasn't about religious sin. It was this rigid belief that she had to be utterly perfect to justify the Seth material to the world. She carried the weight of the world on her shoulders.
Which translates physically into the rigidity of arthritis.
Exactly. But in that hospital, stripped of everything, that superhuman image finally cracked and crumbled. It left her with a much more native, realistic image of herself. She finally allowed herself to just be a creature.
The vulnerability.
Yeah. She found this deep camaraderie with the hospital staff. She joked with the nurses, the cleaners. She engaged fully with the messy, vulnerable reality of creaturehood.
That's amazing. And the juxtaposition of her physical decline and her creative output, it's just incredible.
It really is. Even from that hospital bed at 82 pounds, she continued to dictate profound Seth sessions.
I mean, she was still exploring the magical approach while in that state.
Exactly. She wrote poetry. And she wrote this very evocative Sumari song, Sumari being her trance language. And the translation was, "Let my soul find shelter elsewhere."
Let my soul find shelter elsewhere. That gives me chills.
It deeply explores her own psyche's choices, She wasn't a victim. She was actively negotiating her focus. Her journals from that time reflect a consciousness that is totally at peace with all its focuses.
She met each day with curiosity.
She trusted her spontaneous self. She proved that unified consciousness isn't about escaping physical hardship, but fully infusing it with inner awareness.
So what does this all mean for you, the listener? I mean, going from Jane's profound historical example to, like, our daily lives.
If we connect this to the bigger picture, it means you can draw from all these components you've learned to create a simple, unified daily rhythm.
A rhythm, not a strict regimen.
Exactly. We don't want the ego turning this into a punishing spiritual to-do list. Let's break down a suggested rhythm. It has 3 touch points.
Okay, let's start with the morning.
Morning. Upon awaking, before you do anything else, immediately recall a dream. Just grab a snapshot of it. And then deliberately set an intention for the waking day based on that dream.
So you're literally bridging the night's creativity with the day's logic right as you wake up.
Right. You carried the feeling of the dream into your morning meeting. Then we move to midday.
The chaos of the workday.
Yes. Midday is the pause. You pause, and you actively sense Framework 2 operating just beneath the surface of the day's events.
So when I'm stressed about an email, I just pause.
You pause and recognize that your spontaneous self is handling millions of calculations just to keep you breathing and the world spinning. You surrender the anxiety to that massive intelligence.
That's deeply grounding. Okay, and the evening.
Evening. Before sleep, you set a clear dream incubation or projection intention. You remind yourself that you are about to enter the workshop where tomorrow is forged. You aren't just powering down, you're shifting focus.
I love that. Morning, midday, evening.
And the specific details of this rhythm belong entirely to you. The key is consistency paired with lightness and playfulness.
Like a game.
Exactly. Approaching it as a creative, exuberant game, exactly as Seth advised, rather than a rigid spiritual chore.
Here's where it gets really interesting, because we want you to actively participate in this final integration.
We do. We have a challenge for you.
Yeah. Take 15 minutes today, not tomorrow, today. Sit down and actually design your personal unified practice.
Just write down simply. Do not overcomplicate it. Write down your morning, midday, and evening touch points.
And commit to executing this specific rhythm for just 1 week, 7 days.
That's it. And actively observe the results. Notice how the rigid boundaries between the waking state and the dreaming state begin to soften.
Notice how insights from the night seamlessly bleed into your daytime decisions.
And how daytime clarity enhances your nighttime lucidity. It's all connected.
It really is. You know, speaking on behalf of this completed journey, this exploration has completely transformed my relationship with sleep.
I'm so glad to hear that.
It's transformed my relationship with dreams, with my inner senses, and honestly with my very identity. I no longer see a division between my waking self and my dreaming self. I really feel like I am one consciousness exploring many rooms of a vast and beautiful house.
That is the truth. It really is. You have awakened to the dream art scientist within. You are the projector, the dreamer, and the waking creator, all expressions of one unified self.
It's a beautiful realization.
Carry this knowing into every moment. This concludes our deep dive into dreams, projection, and the inner senses. May you live the unity you have discovered.
Thank you so much for taking this journey with us. We're so grateful for your company. But before we go, I want to leave you with one final provocative thought to mull over.
The next time you look in the mirror, pause and look really closely. What if you realize that you aren't just looking at a physical face, but at the face of an ancient dreamer, currently awake inside the very dream they are using to weave the physical world into existence?